So we got OJ the Dude, Owen Falk with us, and wow, what a game!
Yeah, no, that was a crazy game for sure, Greg.
It was nuts. So you were there, I'm sure, going crazy the whole time.
Oh yeah, definitely going crazy the whole time. There's a point where there was 3 goals in a row where I was tired doing my dance.
You know that's bad when you get on a run like that. That you're like, I'm just exhausted. That was too much. But no,
Yeah,
early in the game, so like the first quarter, you guys, it was a close game. Philly come out, they
yeah,
got a quick goal, and you're sitting there like, oh, come on, guys, what are we doing?
yep, yeah. No, I'm sitting there being like, okay, let's get that one back. And there was like our first goal wasn't for like another 5 minutes.
Yeah, definitely not the start to the game you wanted.
No, not at all.
So after the first quarter, it's 3-2. Who scored for Calgary though?
Jesse King on the power play, T Hogarth, and Tyler Pate.
And that's huge. Hogarth getting on the board. He's had a bit of a slow start up in Calgary since coming from Rochester. Uh, yeah, he's had a slow start, and you can see Rochester's offense not the same not having him in there. He's such a big body. He does so good inside that it's hard. But Isaiah Davis Allen, so transition goal for the Wings and Holden Cotoni on the power play. So was it a pretty chippy game again?
Yeah, it was a pretty tick for tack kind of game.
Aha, so everybody's going back and forth.
Yeah,
So you go into halftime, and the second quarter wasn't great for you guys either. At one point, they scored 3 goals within 3 minutes,
yeah.
and now it's all of a sudden 5-4. They're winning, so they went from trailing. Dan Taylor scores. And how great has Dan Taylor been?
Dan Taylor is amazing. He's a local Calgary kid here, guy here, and he's just crazy.
Yeah, we're going to talk about him again when we get down farther because he has the a natural hat trick further in the game.
Yeah,
He had a great night. But so 7-6 at the end of the second quarter, and you had Dan Taylor as we just talked about, and then Tanner Cook and Jesse King. Jesse King was very consistent on the points. He also I did clip the highlights for Stamper with essentially the end of the with Dan Taylor's. I have basically the whole second half of the game, the fourth quarter, where Calgary just took over recorded. And those are probably the highlights that I'm going to play, is because the fourth quarter was
nice.
just crazy for you.
Yeah, no, yeah. Fourth quarter was definitely crazy. But should we get into the third quarter here?
Oh, we should probably do the third quarter. I can't even wait. But yeah, so I mean,
Yeah,
at least you guys finally you gave up the lead, but
yeah,
then you were able to battle your way back, and then now you're going into the third quarter, and you guys tie it up halfway through.
yeah. So for Calgary, we had Hayden Dixon and Josh Courier.
Yeah, and then it looks like the last 4 minutes about of the quarter, Philadelphia's offense lit up a little bit, so they had a highlight goal, or not highlight goal, a power play goal. I'm sorry, from Joe Rasateris.
Yeah.
Do you remember what the penalty was?
No, not off the top of my head.
So yeah, I wonder because then and then they score at the beginning of the fourth quarter, so it looks like the momentum is going all Calgary's way, or I'm sorry, Philadelphia's way, and they've got a 10-8 lead. So they're beating you guys by 2 goals now.
Yeah.
And let's get into what happens next.
Okay, so the fourth quarter, Calgary comes out swinging with Dan Taylor getting a sock trick, Josh Courier getting 2. For the last little bit, they tried to pull their goalie and catch up, and Shane Simpson got an empty netter.
Yeah, from Del Bianco. And that was
Yeah.
something that the Wings were doing really well, was kind of shutting that down, and really that Del Bianco Simpson combo was not as lethal as it usually is.
No, it wasn't that night, but man, there was a lot of next man up mentality.
Oh yeah. So I mean, how cool was that though? So Dan Taylor, a local guy, starts the run back and then gives them the lead, and then Mitch Jones scores like 20 seconds later to tie it back up. So you're sitting in the arena. What did you feel like? Did you feel like, okay, this is our game to win, or boys, how did you let them score again?
After the last couple goals, when we pulled ahead a little bit, I'm like, okay, there's 5 minutes left. This is our game.
Yeah. I had the wrong logo up underneath you the
I
whole
know, I
time.
saw that.
I'm gonna have to cut it. I'll have to add it over the top of it later. So sorry about that. But
Yeah, no worries.
yeah, so Mitch Jones scores, they tie it up again, but then Josh Courier steps up, and it's little over a minute after Mitch Jones scored. So now you're thinking, all right, we got the lead. We can hold on to this.
Yeah, that was very much what I was thinking. I was like, okay, we got the lead. We should be good now.
Did I skip it?
Top goal getters of the night were Dan Taylor for Cal. Oh, and the final score, sorry, was 14-11 for Calgary.
Yes. And the top goal getters of the night were
Dan Taylor for Calgary with 4 goals, and the Wings had Tony. That's how you pronounce it.
yeah. So Holden Catoni had 3, and the top assist, and not only with the top assist, but he does so much offensively, setting screens, getting loose balls. Your captain,
Yep,
Jesse King.
yep. Jesse King had the top assist of the night with 5, and yeah, Jones also had 5.
Yeah, Mitch Jones has been a huge part of that Philadelphia offense. He came from Vancouver. They traded him. I don't remember who they traded him for, but he really sparked the offense down there last year when he came, and he had a pretty good season. He's hot and cold though. He's a little streaky. So then we get into the loose ball category, and who was the loose ball leaders?
Okay, so for Calgary, we have Zach Courier leading with loose balls with 11. And for the Wings, we have Mitch Jones again with 11 of the night as well.
Yeah, which is crazy because he's on offense most of the time. So for him to pick up 11, that was 11 offensive rebounds,
Yeah.
or so like they might have just been on the face-off team too. But yeah, the Zach Courier's taking the face-offs for Calgary, right?
Yeah, I believe so. He's
Okay.
been taking quite a few lately, yeah.
Yeah, no, he does good. He doesn't because even against like Withers and Ardella, he doesn't lose face-offs really. He just kind of plays great defense on the guys and gives him an edge. But I mean, that was a big thing with the Buffalo game is the week before with against Withers, they were 31-0 that Withers beat them. And then against Albany, they had 2. It was 27-5.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so definitely struggle busting hard with that.
Yeah, it sounds like Buffalo needs a face-off guy.
Yeah, it's an interesting debacle to be in. But all right, so now we can get out of the fun facts with the at Kid Sport Calgary, thanks to Ascent Consulting. How many assists does he have for the year?
Oh, he's up to 11 this season now, so that is a total of $5,500 to get sport.
That's awesome. Huge shout out to Ascent Consulting. Really appreciate, giving back to the community. That's so cool that they do that. Jesse King is up to 19 goals following his 2-goal performance against Philly. That means
Uh, that's something I learned while researching this video. Actually, I didn't even know that. But yeah, the Calgary Roughnecks Foundation have combined for $1,710 donated to Believe CCA. Yeah, childhood cancer awareness. That's what it is.
nice. So it's another thing they're raising money for. Calgary, it's a
Yeah,
huge part. They seem pretty involved with the town. Like they're doing a lot of things. You had, who was it? Courier did the weather, right?
yeah. Created the weather one week. Yeah,
Yeah, that was cool. So yeah, I mean it's cool when Calgary does that. So both teams they are facing
yeah,
each other. You guys have a redo.
yeah. So we have a redo on Saturday, and it's an early game for me at 11 a.m. my time.
Man, so that means that's an early game even for the East Coast though. That means they're playing at 1.
One. Yeah.
Wow, I wonder something must be happening in the arena maybe at night. I don't know. That's weird. But yeah, so they're playing in Philly at 1. Woo. That is an early
Yeah.
game.
Yeah, and with his goal as well, Hayden Dixon hit 100 career points.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll have to make sure I tag that and put it in. You should start running these shows. We can post them on your channel because you have all kinds of good stuff too. But yeah, 1 p.m. Eastern. That's weird. They're playing in Philly. That's a big game. But
Yeah.
I might watch it before the Albany game. I'm pretty excited for Albany, New York. I think that's going to be a battle.
Yeah, no, Albany, New York, and like you were saying last night on Yeti Talks, New York, and it's just starting to get good, and then they're leaving.
Yeah, yeah, that really sucks if you're a New York fan. All right, so as we look at the standings, let me make sure I can pull up my. All right, so now as we look at this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, you're holding on to the 8 spot right now.
Yeah.
So if the season ended right now, Calgary Roughnecks are in the playoffs.
Yeah.
So I'm going to ask you the same question I'm asking everybody. Who from the top is not going to be in there when the season ends?
The top 8, you mean?
Yeah, who from the top 8, which one of these teams from Calgary going up is not going to be there when the season ends? Is going to be sitting outside in the postseason?
I mean, I strongly believe it's Buffalo.
You said that last night, and that's why I was
Yep.
like, man, I kind of agree. A lot of it, I think, depends on Matt Vince. I don't know
Yeah.
what the injury is. We'll see how it is, but yeah.
Yeah, no, like but yeah, like you were saying last night, like it would be crazy. Buffalo goes from championship to not making it.
Yeah, that would be nuts. That would be, oh man, that's awful. That's a drastic fall. All right, so they are going to be replaced with who from the bottom?
Ooh,
I think New York.
yeah,
I'm going to guess New York now. Yeah, that
New
they're back in the bottom.
yeah, New York's a strong choice for sure. Especially if they're moving to Ottawa, then well,
Yeah, Paul seems to think it's going to be Vegas.
yeah.
Yeah,
I don't disagree with Vegas, but I'd like to see another Canadian team, maybe if Saskatchewan can turn it around.
they got to figure it out, but they got destroyed by Halifax. Did you watch any of that game?
No, I didn't.
Oh my goodness, they got annihilated. Let me we got to click on it just so you can see the score sheet. It's not good.
What they lost 11-6.
No, it was more than that.
Oh, what was it?
I don't know, we'll find out in a second, but it was definitely more than 11-6.
Uh,
Yeah,
oh,
19
19
to
to
6.
6.
I was like, I knew it was close to 20, but I thought it was 18 for some reason. And
Damn.
yeah, see what I mean? I mean, they just came out and so the fourth quarter, I didn't get that far watching it after I just was playing it while I was folding laundry. I was like,
Yeah.
this is wow. And the 6-0, like, yeah, it was insane. They were 6-1 going out of the first. I watched the entire first
Oh,
quarter
wow.
and Halifax looked amazing.
Yeah.
Not as I mean Shigliano though just had a terrible night. And I feel so bad for goalies, but even having a bad night, he still had 44 saves. That just goes to show you
Oh,
how
yeah.
much Halifax shoots. Halifax
Right?
shoots the lights out. Yeah, 60 shots.
Yeah.
Wow. I know he didn't have 44 saves. He had 27 saves, 48 shots.
Yeah.
27 saves. You cannot expect to
Whoa.
win in the NLL if you can't get 30.
Yeah.
Whew. Oh yeah. So I mean, I you can root for Sass, but I wouldn't hold my breath on
Yeah,
them.
I know. I'd probably have to say New York then.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah. I'm going with them. I'm sticking with them. All right, OJ. So who have you been interviewing recently?
I've been interviewing some junior A guys. Some retired NLL players.
Who's the last interview that you posted?
The last one that got posted today was my lost episode from a while back that I didn't post. It was my initial video with Riley Isaac.
Aha. So we've got a initial interview with Riley Isaacs up, and who was the last retired player you talked to?
I think it was Travis Cornwall.
And how was that?
That was good.
What's
Like,
he up to these days?
he's living in Vancouver. He actually told me he is an advisor for the Warriors.
Yeah, so that's awesome. So
Yeah.
to get that and more interesting facts, check out Owen Falk's Tech Slacks. It's got all kinds of cool interviews. I love it. OJ, thanks so much for joining us.
Yeah, no worries, Greg.
All right, we'll do it again next week.
Okay.